Hi everyone, my name is Shub and welcome to Little Wisdom, where we look into science and spirituality to strengthen our wisdom and self-awareness. Today's episode is in honor of a man who has received 260 awards in 40 years, including the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993. He spent 27 years in prison for his battle against apartheid and is fondly known as Madiba in South Africa. His name is synonymous with the art of forgiveness, among many other virtues, and we'll look into his legacy, spirituality, and some psychology to learn how we can be better at forgiving. So, who is this man? You guessed it, Nelson Mandela. July 18th is celebrated as Nelson Mandela Day. It's his birthday. And since it's just around the corner, I wanted to do an episode on the magnificent man and reflect on some of the wisdom and lessons that he has left behind. Born in 1918, his real name is actually Holisaza Mandela. Apologies to any Africans or South Africans specifically listening to this. If I'm pronouncing this wrong and my research is incorrect, please correct me, please let me know, and I apologize beforehand. So his real name, Holisaza, meant pulling the branch of a tree, which basically, colloquially translated, means troublemaker. He was born into the Madiba clan of the Xhosa-speaking Tembu people. It's actually spelled Xhosa, and the X is usually pronounced with a click. So it should be Xhosa. I hope I have that right, but let's see. His name, Nelson, was given to him by his school teacher who did not want to address him by his birth name. Honestly, if some school teacher tried to change my name, I think I would be extremely annoyed, which for the record did happen once. She said my name should have been Susie because I look like a Susie. Although I wasn't angry in the moment, I do look back now with some colorful language in my mind. But holding on to anger was definitely not a trait that Nelson Mandela had. In fact, his forgiveness has been one of the most disarming and charismatic traits. Reflecting on his 27 years of unfair sentencing in prison, he said, "As I walked out the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." Not only did he understand the power of forgiveness, he understood how valuable it was to live in the present while looking forward to a hopeful future. Forgiveness is never easy, but clearly he made it look effortless. It takes time to develop, it takes courage, and it also means you're willing to let go of the injustice that you may have faced. However, forgiveness is not letting go and then allowing them to do it again. I think that's one of the reasons why people have a difficulty forgiving, because they assume that to forgive means to accept the other person's actions as right and give them the power to do it again. That is not true. When you forgive, what you're saying is, this is wrong, I was hurt, and I'm going to let it go because my peace of mind is far more important. And also because I recognize that you're a human being who is not perfect. That is forgiveness. Easier said than done, huh? But it's not saying that, yes, you are right, so you win. Nobody wins in this. It's about who moves forward and is wise enough to leave it behind. Whether you continue to include these people in your life is entirely up to you. You can forgive them and not want to move forward with them. Forgiveness doesn't give them an automatic ticket into your future. In the year 2000, Nelson Mandela was asked by Oprah Winfrey how he managed to keep the bitterness away. He responded that when he thinks back to apartheid and the things that were done, he feels angry. But he also realizes, and I'm going to quote him here, "You have a limited time to stay on earth. You must try and use that period for the purpose of transforming your country into what you desire it to be. And therefore, you have to reject all negative visions in your own soul, in your blood system, and focus your attention on the positive things." I honestly wish I could have just put that clip in here so you could hear him say it, because when you listen to him, it's a whole new world. So it's not that he didn't feel rage over the incredible injustice that he and the whole nation was suffering from. Of course he did. But he knew that the anger would only bring destruction and not the progress and justice that he envisioned. In Sanskrit, the word for forgiveness, kshama, is associated with suffering, endurance, and kshamata, which means forbearance. In traditional Indian scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, forgiveness is considered to be a divine quality. It is also not considered something that is automatically granted, rather something that needs to be earned through sincere intentions and effort. The biggest roadblock in forgiveness is ego. It is extremely susceptible to anger, envy, pride, lust, and more. It is the cause for the discomfort we feel and also the reason behind not wanting to let things go. Holding on to them gives our ego importance, and the ego loves having a party with importance. If you are easily agitated, angered, and lash out, it's likely that your ego is very prominent. Once you're able to recognize this, it'll be the first step to disassociate with it and regain your power to nurture peace. According to Harvard Health and Johns Hopkins Medicine, practicing forgiveness has shown to lower the risk of heart attacks, improves sleep and cholesterol levels, and relief from symptoms of depression, anxiety, and hostility. Forgiveness isn't just for those leading a nation. So what advice does Nelson Mandela have for people like you and I to learn and nurture this quality? When asked the same thing by Oprah, he said, "The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. And one of the most important weapons in changing yourself is to recognize that people everywhere in the world want peace." How beautiful. Nelson Mandela's ability to recognize the truth of the soul that resides in everyone made him a powerful man. Yes, powerful in all the ways of political influence and more, but also powerful on a spiritual level where he recognized his mortality, the importance of stepping back from the ego, and the strength in forgiveness. I want to close off today with a poem I have loved for many years and even considered getting it tattooed. In a serendipitous moment, I recently discovered that Nelson Mandela used to recite the same poem during his imprisonment, and it gave him a lot of hope. So here is Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced, not cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So, my dear captains and masters of fate, remember that forgiveness is more powerful than you think. Don't let your ego stand in the way of your peace of mind. The more peace of mind you have, the healthier and happier you will be. And if you ever stumble and need that extra push, think of this phenomenal man who, against all odds, not only forgave, but planted the seeds of progress and peace. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time on Little Wisdom. Take care, stay healthy, stay wise.